They're all trying to keep you distracted from what they just did to us in 2020 and a couple years through that. All these things I told you in private mentorship that you laughed at me and said these things were never going to happen. I told you beef prices were going to be so astronomically overpriced. You got to prepare for all that stuff. I told you everything was going to be expensive. I told you the metal market was going to go through the roof. There it is. It's happened. And I'm telling you, it's going to get worse. And if you don't buckle down and take this serious, you're going to miss the opportunity to breadwin when you're going to need it. As long as the markets are available to us, and I believe there's a time coming when we won't be able to do that. Over in UK, they have an idea they're trying to push, digital ID. You can't work unless you get this, and they're trying to push to get through their parliament, their time in parliament. You know what that sounds like to me? Revelation chapter 13. Unless you have the mark, you can't buy or sell, which means you can't eat. You don't think it's going to be easy or difficult for them to say, you have to have these things, these documents, this mode of identification for you to participate in speculation in the marketplace. If I'm still here and that happens, I won't be trading. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I've done enough. But maybe you haven't done enough yet. So it's a call to action. It's a call to stir you up to be diligent about this. It doesn't mean get out there and start betting heavy, putting everything on trades and try to win the lottery type windfall. It means that you have to take it serious. Keep what you have. Don't risk too much. Using things that I've taught, and hopefully, and I see a lot of these comments all the time in X replies to me and email. I get tons and tons of emails. Can you teach about trade psychology or psychology in a broad scope? Every time I'm talking, that's what I'm doing. And that's why a lot of the younger folks simply don't want to listen. They say, you go on, you rant too much. And when I see that, I delete you. Like I will never, you'll see your post appear in my stuff, but I'm never reading you again. Because what you're showing me is that you're someone that feels entitled. You think you know how to learn and should be taught. Then if you want to be the teacher, teach yourself. Be self-taught. Don't come to me. Don't come to anybody. You're smart enough to figure it out on your own. That's what you're saying when you say things like that. And you're proving that you're impatient. And I'm telling you, if you have those characteristics, you're going to fail. That's an absolute guaranteed model of future failure. And it will tend to repeat because you won't see what you're doing is wrong. You're just going to keep doing it until you figure it out. And you take out your frustrations on people like me that want to spend our time for free, building you up, edifying you, encouraging you, showing you what works and proving that it works, like Swiss timepiece precision. And it costs you nothing but 15 to 18 minutes to listen to a video. And when you do it twice the speed, hey, you can get me telling you how to do in 9 minutes now. And you're getting PDFs made for you. Yeah, leaving the ideas of classical analysis and showcasing the elements of inefficiencies through the wicks. That's what we've been focusing on the last 2 weeks. And by having this focus on it, it has hopefully put a spotlight on how you as a developing student of price action, you as someone that's studying my life's work and smart money concepts, finding the continuity that's available and specifically aiming for very particular PD arrays because they form around these quadrants. When we grade these inefficiencies, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, BISI, SIBI, fair value gaps, and we had the same perspective applied to a candlestick wick above or below the candlestick body. When we have that, what you're looking at is the reference points that the algorithm is going to go to. It's not the number of orders that depth of market level 2 data. It has absolutely, listen, test it, prove to see whether I'm telling you the truth or not. This has always been the challenge. I've come out here and tell you all the time. Spend some time with what I'm teaching you and see if it isn't how it works. See if it doesn't hold up better than anything else. See if it isn't the closest thing to perfection you can ever find in market analysis concepts. See, retail, you have a plethora of things that don't even agree. But the common consensus is this is why the markets go up and down. It's always doing the same thing. It's support and resistance. Really? Because I make a mockery of support and resistance. I literally make a joke out of that. You don't know what high and low to use. None of these books teach you to do that, but they have the perfect example in hindsight. And here's good old ICT coming out here. Mild-mannered, middle-aged man. Some of you might argue that's not middle-aged now, is it? But I'm middle-aged, baby. Here's what the market's really going to do. And we sit back and we wait and we watch and it delivers. I'm not out here beating my chest. I'm not here grandstanding. I'm not here bragging and boasting. I'm saying, are you paying attention? Are you taking notice of this? Because I had a guy I broomed on X. This is the type of response that literally I block you. Okay. Like I don't have any tolerance for stupidity now. I have no tolerance for ignorance. I have no tolerance for the low end, low energy troll. I have no energy for that. I have too much time that I need to apply to other personal things. Like I'm not that ICT anymore. Someone that comes to my profile on X or leaves a comment in my videos, they'll say, you talk about this level and talk about that level, but if the market would have went here, you would have said that level too. And I'm talking specifically in response to, as I called out the discount array or wick on the daily chart. And I said, pay attention, grade it. And it nailed the quadrant. And I mentioned the fair value gap as well that I was trading down to on a daily chart. Go back and look at my post on X. I don't delete anything. If there's a typo, it stays there. It stays there. If I feel like it needs to be amplified, I'll put another post behind it, saying what I really want to say. But honestly, I'm 53 years old now and I'm losing concern about that. I'm relaxing. It's a lot easier for me to sleep at night, not worrying about the little details anymore. I've said enough. But the fair value gap with that discount wick and the very specific quadrant, the first one it's going to come to, they agree. And that fair value gap doesn't close entirely. Oh. See, that's what you should have gotten, young man, instead of opening your mouth, talking through ignorance. Because you're frustrated because you want someone to give it to you easy, nice and lubed. No. 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 When you learn through frustration, impatience, and pain. That's how you learn. I can't remove that from you. That part's always going to be there. The back testing part of it, the journaling, all that stuff is required. And the people that say it's not are the same people that blow accounts over and over and over again, and they beat their chest and say they're the best in the planet. It's foolishness. It's an oxymoron. Look at me not doing what I say I should be able to do, but it's for entertainment and shock value. That's what everyone's paying attention to right now. That's what everyone's looking at right now. They're all being entertained by people that don't know how to do what they say they're supposed to know how to do. And all I'm trying to do is simply remind you in a mild-mannered way, look right here. Pay attention to that. What does it say to you when price is behaving in that area? I called your attention to it. And then I put the little Harry Potter wands pointing up. And it stopped going lower and went straight up from there. Oh. Oh, Oh, now I get it. I get it. No, you don't. You don't get it. Unless you show up every day, unless you put the work ethic behind it and you really study and you disarm yourself. What's that mean? What's that mean, Michael? Disarm myself. It means that when you sit down and you're studying price action, you're not demanding that it yields to you and your will. So you can go out and say, I knew it was going to go up here. Look, here's my paper trade, or here's the rectangle boxes I show. This is where that trade would have been if I really took one, but it's really not an execution. When you're doing these things and you're putting it on social media, you're encouraging bad habits in yourself. And you're looking to be validated by people like me, which I will never validate anything like that. Look how many times people have done it. I don't ever put a heart behind that stuff because I know it's a false sense of security. What you're experiencing is if you were going to be right about it going higher, and most of you have a double-minded perspective of price. Okay, if I'm wrong, and this is hypothetically you, not everyone, but most of you that are brand new or inexperienced, you'll watch price action. You're looking at your price, and you're saying, okay, I think it's going to go up to this level here because there's a relative equal high, or it's an old high, so I think they're going to go for that liquidity. But if I'm wrong, it's going to go down to this one here. Now, what you've just done is done the very thing that people that try to sow disinformation say that I do. I always tell you what I'm looking for in direction. But I tell you, if I'm wrong, this is what it's going to look like. And I'm okay with that. I've taught you how to disarm yourself, but you have to disarm yourself in a manner like this. I don't need to be right because I'm studying. I don't need to be right because I'm back testing. I don't need to be right because I'm tape reading. I'm not required to be profitable right now because I'm not risking money. Because the internet is chock full of examples of people getting paid out on these funded account companies. And they're showing you, this is how much my payout is. Show me how many times your credit card's been swiped. How many times did you pay out before you got there? Because it's no different to my friends and family members who go to casino and they, oh, I love it when this happens, $32,000 jackpot. But they've been there every weekend for a year and a half, dropping thousands of dollars, and they're in deficit right now. But they put that out there on the internet because it soothes them. It projects winner mentality. Oh, wow, look at this person. Big got it together. They're lucky. And if people can tell them in responses, wow, way to go, good for you, that helps them get through all the money and time they wasted prior to that. So learning properly is disarming yourself, not expecting that reward, that pat on the back. You'll get that because the experience will be building up in you. That's the pat on the back, where you're no longer feeling that insatiable desire to go out there and just press a button because, man, I'm bored. I hate sitting here at this job. This is a dead-end job. I'm in class. This professor literally is boring me. I don't want to do this. I'm paying for a college education that I know that it's not what I want to do, but my parents forced me into this, and now I got all these loans stacking up, or I got a scholarship, and I don't want to disappoint them. So you're looking for a distraction. So what are you going to do? Eurodollar, baby. Let's go. You're not learning how to do it properly. You're gambling. You're looking for a distraction. And there's a lot of people out there willing to distract you. I'm trying to get you to focus. I'm trying to narrow your focus down to the things that matter most. So that way your learning curve is shortened to the tempo and duration that I believe is practical, but not all of you are willing to listen to it because you have somebody else that's learned from you that's trying to teach you. Somebody else has got a different spin on it. Or they have a conspiracy theory about how I use Andrew's pitchforks in secret, or I use supply and demand and I rebranded it and called it an order block, when none of that logic even holds water. None of the Wyckoff stuff is what I teach. None of it. All these things are meant to discourage you. They're discouraging you. It's all it is. And when I step out here and I try to do my best to say, okay, there's a lot of things I could be talking about. There's a lot of new PD arrays I could be dropping in instilling that new shiny object sensation in all of you, which is a distraction. I'm not trying to distract you. I brought